It only took 3 years and 4 women dying, but the Texas Medical Board is ready to weigh in on abortion care. Hi, my name's Mel. I'm a fourth-year medical student. I'm going to be an OBGYN. Let's talk about the course that the Texas Medical Board just passed that doctors have to go through. As a recap, after the abortion ban in Texas took place, sepsis rates spiked, emergency room visits also spiked, where miscarrying patients needed blood transfusions. At least 4 women in the state died after they didn't receive timely reproductive care. Now Texas has officially, after years of OBGYNs begging, they've officially created guidance for doctors. Of note, the people who oversaw this training was a board of 19 members appointed by the governor, including 12 licensed physicians, but not a single OBGYN. It goes over 9 example scenarios, which are the most bread and butter cases. Things like a patient's water breaking before term and complications from an incomplete abortion, assuring doctors that they can now legally provide those abortions. It drew on real-life circumstances like the death of Jocelyn Barnica, who was diagnosed with an inevitable miscarriage, leaving her at high risk of dangerous infection. She died after doctors would not empty her uterus while there was still a fetal heartbeat, because that would have been against the law. Again, doctors are frustrated because this training only goes over the most straightforward examples. Dr. Tony Ogburn, an OBGYN practicing in Texas, said I could probably list 100 different situations that would cause people to pause and say, wow, does that fit into the law? They are trying to take years and years of medical training, different nuanced complications, and summarize it into 43 slides. Notably absent is how doctors should care for patients with chronic conditions. This is a problem because this is how a lot of these patients are dying. This is how Tiara Walker died. She had diabetes, high blood pressure, was repeatedly hospitalized, and died because her life was in imminent danger. She could not get an abortion. This training doesn't also help these steep criminal penalties, which are 99 years in prison, $100,000 in fines, and the loss of medical licensure. Despite the Texas board saying the legal risk of prosecution is extremely low, because Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has inserted himself into many of these cases that doctors had deemed they should be able to provide an abortion for. Dr. Damla Carson was the OBGYN for Kate Cox. In 2023, Carson argued that Cox qualified for an abortion. An increased risk of hemorrhage, infection, and future infertility. A lower court even permitted the abortion. Paxton appealed and argued that Carson hadn't done enough to prove Cox's life was at risk.